Yesterday, I made a video saying I am going to 100% Crimson Desert as a challenge because a lot of people said it was tedious and felt longer than it's supposed to. When the game is already so big and so long, people saying that just scared the shit out of me, okay? It was like, how can that even be possible? That sounds like torture. And I tried it, and I'm loving it so far. It's crazy. Like, I don't usually love open world games at all. I haven't been able to play the recent Assassin's Creed games. I mean, I have been able to, but I haven't been able to get past like the first 2 hours of the game. This, however, was a completely different beast. First of all, I could not even focus on the tediousness for the first hour because of how terrible or different the controls were. The controls for this game, I said it's terrible, but it's actually a banger. And that's what chat told me as well before I started playing it. They're like, it might suck now, but trust the process, it's going to get better. And I was wondering, how the fuck is that possible, right? How is this shit-ass controls going to get better? Because, hear me out, if you're using a controller, then you can't change keybinds, and the button for jump and interact is the same, and it's X. X to jump on an Xbox controller. X is this button, okay? The one on the left. It's not the down one. It's not A. Isn't A usually jump? It's been so long since I've seen X as jump. And that being the same as interact, it's crazy. Do you know how many times I've tried to pet a cat, but instead just jumped 5 times? Also, by the way, I forgot to mention, it's also really hard to interact with shit because it's not clear where you're looking at sometimes. There's also been times where I've tried to talk to shopkeepers, but ended up getting a vandalism charge because I looked slightly downwards towards a cup that said steal on it. And guess what? Keyboard and mouse is just as terrible. I tried switching to keyboard and mouse, and the feels, I was like, okay, I don't usually play these games on keyboard and mouse, but this one, the controller is just too much. I'm gonna try it. And I tried it. It felt kind of good. It felt kind of good because almost every competitive games I play is on keyboard and mouse, so I'm good with aiming and shit as well with mouse. But then I realized that when you change keybinds on keyboard and mouse, yes, you can change keybinds on keyboard and mouse, you can't really have duplicates. And there are so many actions in this game that you have to have duplicates, especially for things that are not even related. Say you're doing a completely different action where when you're doing that, then you never need to fight or anything. You still can't use the key mapping for those actions in your everyday movement actions. By everyday, I mean walking around and combat and shit. You can't really have duplicates in completely different scenarios as well. It's like not being able to have duplicates in a menu and in-game. But guess what? Their default key bindings have a lot of duplicates. How is that even possible? Like, how is the game allowed to defaultly give you a bunch of duplicates, but you're not allowed to put it in yourself? See, it makes no sense. Hence, I just went back to controller, and just tried to get used to it. And guess what? I did get used to it. And now it's super cool. The CEO said it will feel like riding a bike. You know, you'll get used to it once you keep riding it. And he was right. That's what happened. I got used to it, and now I don't even... I mean, sometimes I still jump during combat. Not just sometimes, a lot of times, but that's about it, okay? That's because a lot of games that I play have X as, attack. And this game has a lot of actions, like I said before. So you use X to do a certain action as well. Not a lot of other actions as well. Now, before I glaze this game even more, yes, there are a lot of tedious aspects to this. The main missions, the side missions they are kind of rough, especially the ones where you have to ride a horse and follow someone because you can't go ahead of them, and they're not sprinting, okay? They're just walking in the horse. And the ones where you have to walk behind someone, it's the same exact formula as the horse, and just as worse. Also, a lot of missions really don't have that much plot to it. So sometimes you're just going all the way to this one place and doing a certain thing and just coming all the way back. I'm not going to spoil anything, obviously. You can watch my full gameplay down below, by the way. And I'm only 8 hours in. Yes, I'm only 8 hours in. People said the game gets better after 6 hours. So according to majority of people, I have only gotten into the good parts in the last 2 hours, but that's just wrong. Okay, I've liked the game so far. Like, yes, there have been some tedious aspects, but I haven't really minded them because here's the thing. I went in the game with an open mind. I think that's what helped me a lot, because if I hadn't, then I would probably have given up in the first 2 hours because of how janky the controls were and the tedious aspect to the missions. Also, me trying to complete everything or 100% the game made the game even more fun, because again, like I said, I've played this game for 8 hours and I just got to part 3 or chapter 3. People get to chapter 3 in the first 3 hours if they don't do a lot of side missions. In fact, even if they do some side missions, they still get to chapter 3 by like 4 hours. I'm 8 hours in and I just finished chapter 3. It's crazy because I've just been going around places, I mean, obviously I'm not going everywhere or just places I'm not supposed to be, just around town and shit. There's so much things to do. There's so many mini games scattered around the place. There's a bunch of side quests that are actually rewarding because they increase your carrying capacity, which I love in games, okay? If they improve or increase my carrying capacity, especially in a game like this, where you have to collect a lot of stuffs, and I am 100%ing it, so I do have to collect a lot of stuffs, even unnecessary ones. These small side missions are a godsend. And there's a button to speed up dialogues, right? That doesn't completely skip them, it just speeds them up. And that is also a godsend, because when you use that, dialogues, even the corny ones, get funnier. It's like watching those TikTok videos where they have those chipmunk voices, Also the actions, their head movements, everything just feels funnier. And I was laughing. At one point during my stream, I was just laughing and crying because nothing even big happened, okay? I was gonna say because of something, but nothing happened. It's just some random ass dialogue and I just started bursting into laughter. So did chat. I think that is kind of what their intention was, because they would have just created a skip button for it then. And when you do that speed up thing, like all the actions also look so exaggeratory that it just feels goofy and funny. Now, yes, even if I've just completed chapter 3, I already know that the main story is going to be ass. Okay? I know that the main story is going to probably suck because of what I've seen so far, but that's not really the point of this game. I mean, it would be unfair to not judge it because of the story, but if you consider the open world aspect to it and how much shit you can do, the combat, if I start glazing the combat, I am going to spend the whole night doing so. And I said night because I'll also be spending the whole day. I'm going to tell you one thing, okay? You can use a sword while also being able to use your fist and bow at the same time. The reason you want to collect and unlock everything is because you can use everything at the same time without having to change weapons and shit. Let me give you an example. You can run at someone, clothesline them, start swinging your sword, and then RKO them again into your triple arrow combination. What is, like, sometimes it is overwhelming, I get it. But that's only if you haven't gotten used to it. And a lot of people, like I said, never get used to it. I feel like that's why they hate this game. I feel like that's why this game has 57% on Steam, and not because of the tediousness. No, it's because people just give up. People can't get better. People can't get good at this game because it's not like Elden Ring and shit where you follow patterns. You have to get used to the fucking terrible ass control. And it's really, again, not terrible because you have to do a lot of shit. Okay, so it requires a lot of duplicate mappings. Yes, I wish they let us change controller configs, controller key mappings. But they didn't do that, and it is a bit of a bummer, but you know what? If you get used to it, you'll actually start loving it. Now, does that mean that I'm completely the best at it now? No. I still jump a lot during combats because, again, X to jump, like, what is this? So yeah, even though I'm 8 hours in and so used to the controls by now, I still make a little bit of mistakes here and there. Oh, and also people are going to complain about the AI that they use for those tiny ass paintings that you can find in some places. Who cares? Now, again, like I said, I hate AI when it comes to taking people's creative jobs, okay? Yes, I do develop LLMs. I've made a lot of videos about this. You can watch my previous videos, but I am a software engineer. I make LLMs, and I don't like the fact that a lot of companies train AI to get better at taking creative people's jobs or creative jobs like art, videography, filmmaking, sound design, and all that shit, because that's not even necessary. Why does AI need to get better at that? That is completely BS. However, in this game, the way that they've used AI is for paintings that you can find around the world, which look like slop. They're not even good paintings. If they tried to make those paintings realistic and shit, then I would be like, okay, you can't really use AI for that. But if you're just making slop because you didn't want to spend a lot of time doing that, I get it. Because the rest of this game is not AI. The beautiful scenes that we see, where we can actually walk on, fight on, and do shit on, they're not AI. Why does this even matter? Why those tiny things? It's literally nitpicking and hating on it just to hate it because you're bad at the game. That's it. You're bad at the game, or it's one of those corporate propagandas that people are just blindly following like sheeps. Anyway, the game is good. I recommend it. Definitely supposed to be above an 80% when it comes to score. I don't even know how it's stuck at 57%. The whole thing is funny to me. But yeah, I'll be playing more of it. Go check out my live streams down below. I've put the playlist for the VODs of this game, Crimson Desert, down below. I'm also going to play a lot of games in the future, but I figured this would be my first actual 100%ing a game. And I've had a great time so far. The chat has blasted the 5 people that actually watch me. But yeah, I hope to see you there. If not, just play it yourself. Enjoy it. Peace.